If you can't get your dog's attention, then you can't ask them to do something else, even if it's just know that they're a good boy or a good girl.
I could be a mess, stressed in yesterday. He don't care less, he sees me anyway. Yeah, he sees me anyway. My dog thinks I'm great, he thinks I'm number one. He never hates, even when I'm done.
Welcome to this episode of Dog Leads with Stephen Bishop. He is a certified dog trainer, a member of the Pet Professional Guild, and a Family Paws parent educator. He has a bachelor's in psychology and a minor in sociology. Steve has been teaching group classes and private clients professionally for over 15 years. Every week, he brings you a little bit more information on how to improve your relationship with your dog using science and sense. For more information, you can visit his website at bishopsgatetraining.my.canva.site. This episode is brought to you by Simple Solutions to Common Problems. This presentation, based on the book by the same name, will explain the reasons and solutions to the most often asked about behaviors, including play biting, chewing, jumping on people. The presentation will be on March 18 at Waters Moss in Columbia, Missouri. Advanced registration is required, and a link will be in the description.
One of the first things that I teach my clients, particularly with the puppies and when I was teaching Pet Manners 1, is what I call name recognition. What that is just getting the dog to look at you when you say their name. So, for example, if I'm at a party or out in public or whatever, and someone says, "Hey, Steve," they expect me to turn around and look at them, acknowledge them. And it's the same thing with our dogs. We want them to acknowledge us when we say their name. And then we can ask them for something else if we want to, just to say hi, or to ask them to come, or to sit, or just know that they're a good dog. So the way I teach this, we start with a treat. We say the dog's name, and we wait for them to make eye contact. And I'll talk more about eye contact in another episode, but for now, we just want that acknowledgement. So we say their name, give them a few seconds, 3 to 5 seconds usually at first. And if they don't make eye contact, we're going to take that treat that we have and kind of lure them up to our face. So basically we take that treat and we touch our nose and wait for them to make eye contact. And then as soon as they do, I like to use marker training, or clicker training it's also known as. I will mark that behavior as soon as they make eye contact, and then I want to give them a treat. And we want to give that treat, if we're using the marker training, within about a second to get the best association between the two. And I'll talk more about that in just a minute. But then we're going to repeat that over and over again until the dog starts to anticipate, "Oh, I heard my name. I'm going to look you in the eye, and then I'm going to get a treat." So I won't go too deep into this, but I do want to talk a little bit about marker training, because when I teach this, particularly in my puppy classes, I pair this with the marker training. And if I'm working with my dogs at home and I want to start them on the clicker training, I will just sit there and click, treat, click, treat, click, treat, so that they start to learn every time they hear that click, they get a treat. And then I will also use a verbal marker a lot of the times. When I first started doing this, I would use the word yes, and I would draw that S out, so it kind of distinguished it from when I said yes in just normal everyday conversation. One of the keys to marker training is every time they hear that mark, even if you screw up, they get a treat, because we want to keep that really, really well reinforced. What happens is the click or the marker gets paired with that food, and so they start to have that same emotional response every time they hear that marker. So, example I give in my classes, say you have an athlete, we'll say a swimmer, okay, and they are going across the pool, they're going down the lane, and the swimmer, they get out and the coach says, "Hey, you remember maybe a little more than halfway down, you did that really weird flub, and it was, I don't know what you were doing, but right after that, that was a perfect stroke," and that's what we want to see all the way down down the lane, and the athlete may be sitting there just, what the heck are you talking about? So if you have a clicker, as soon as that goes off, they know that instant they have done the right thing, and then they can try and repeat that. So the same thing with our dogs. As soon as they hear that click, they know, oh, some type of reinforcer is going to come shortly, depending on what it's been paired with. So, and again, I'll probably get into that in another episode. But so with the name recognition, I'll say the dog's name, lure them if I need to. As soon as they make eye contact, I mark it and then give them the reinforcer. And that will start to pair the reinforcer and that unique sound. The reason I do that in my classes is because we're kind of on a truncated schedule. The classes are only 6 weeks long, so we don't have a lot of time to sit there and just charge the marker, it's called. So I pair it with this behavior also. How we can apply this, what I wanted to talk about was the check-ins. Say you're out for a walk and, I don't know, a trash bag blows by and it freaks your dog out a little bit. You say the dog's name, and then you give them something else to do, which in this case might be, just calm down, reassure them. So, oh, it's okay, it's okay. Keep in mind, you cannot reinforce fear. So what that means is, it's been a couple of months now, but my daughter, she had a bad dream one night, and she came and got in bed with my wife and me. Allowing her to do that did not make her more fearful, did not make her more afraid. It comforted her. So it's the same thing with our dogs. We're allowed to comfort them. It's not going to make them more fearful. It's kind of a myth that, if you comfort them, it's just going to make them more afraid because they know there's something to be afraid of. That's not how it works. Just like with my daughter and allowing her to get in the bed with my wife and me. So the trash bag blows by, saying your dog's name and then giving them something to do, which is be comforted, that's going to reassure them. They're going to learn that they can look to you for comfort, for reassurance. And that's what we want. In my classes and with my private clients, I do talk about what we call the default behavior. If we're not sure what to do, here's what we're going to try. If I don't know what to do, if I don't know what you're asking for, then the dog sits. If they're in an unusual situation or, a little bit scary or just odd situation, we want the dog to look to us for guidance. So kind of have to be hypervigilant at first until they learn this. Every time something happens where the dog looks a little unsure, we're going to say the dog's name and we're going to give them something to do. And ideally, over time, they're going to start to learn, if I'm not sure what's going on, I can check in, look to my person for guidance. Is this okay? Is this something I need to be worried about? Or, can I just calm down and ignore it? So that's kind of the idea behind it. This is kind of a short one, apparently. I've gotten through all my notes, and that is pretty much it in a nutshell. I have some things in the works. I do have an interview I'm going to be doing next week, so that will be something to look forward to. I've also gotten in touch with several people that work with dogs, asking them to be on the show, and we're still working on schedules and stuff like that. But hopefully we'll start to have some interviews. We can get a different perspective on rescues and nutrition and several other topics that I'm not as learned in. If you have any questions, if you would like to suggest a topic, you can leave a comment here, or you can email me at bishopsgatetraining@gmail.com. And for more information about me and my training, you can visit my website at bishopsgatetraining.my.canva.site. And we'll see you next time.